Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. Boost. Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube. Famous now. Available in 2021. The album, Dad AF. Hey little thing, let me light your candle, cause I'm sure hard to handle now. Yes I am. Rock on, gold dust, woman, beast. How are you guys doing today? Live from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Peter Monn Show. Not to be confused with the Gabbie Show, because she doesn't have the fan flipping talents that I have. How are you guys doing today? We're going to talk about Gabbie Hanna in just a second. We're also going to talk about, Lord, let me brace myself. Let me get down and pray a little bit. She's not a Christian. Oh my God. Okay. No, Chachi, no. Gargoyles, Ouija boards. Trisha Paytas is back at it again. Oh my God, I can't. Okay. So anyway, before I get into that, I want to say a little something about Jack and Diane. I am from Indiana, and so is John Mellencamp, so, I mean, okay. Anyway, do you guys like John Mellencamp? Oh my God, I love John Mellencamp so much. Anyway, okay, last night, my husband and I, we went and saw RuPaul's Drag Race, the live review show, okay? And it was fantastic. We had such a good time. And if you know anything about my history, if you watch my vlog, which some people say is like a podcast, then you probably know how much I love drag. I talk about drag pageants over there and all this kind of stuff. I have been going to drag shows. I just figured this out last night. I think while I was on my vlog, for 31 years, you guys, okay? The very first gay bar that I ever went to was a drag bar in Indianapolis called Tomorrow's. It no longer exists. I think it's a liquor store or something now, right? But that's how I got into my very first gay bar, was that I had a friend of mine that was drag queen, and I carried her drag into the dressing room at like 8 o'clock, and then I sat up in the dressing room while she got ready with all the other drag queens, and they just kept on bringing me drinks, and I was drunk as a skunk. This was before I got sober, okay? And I was drunk as a skunk, and I will never forget, I walked down those stairs and into the drag show was already going on, and I'll never forget, there was this drag queen back in Indianapolis in the day. Her name was Samantha Sinclair, and she was doing this Melissa Etheridge, and I mean to tell you, I fell in love with drag like that moment. I was just like, oh my God, I have arrived, okay? And I've been watching, you know, I have never once been put up in drag in my entire life. I talked about that in my video the other day, that I'm kind of saving it in case like any famous drag queen ever wants to put me up in drag, and then I would do it. But that offer hasn't come yet. I know you're surprised, but anyway, so I have been going to drag shows, national drag pageants, local drag pageants for 31 years. I love drag, right? Okay, but I have to tell you, I was so surprised when we went and saw the show last night. First of all, in my video yesterday, I said Naomi Sims instead of Naomi Smalls. And let me explain to you why I did that. Is that there's a national pageant called National Entertainer of the Year. It's in Louisville, Kentucky every year. And the emeritus winner, the very first winner of that pageant, was actually a female impersonator who has since passed away. She was fantastic. And her name was Naomi Sims. And she was one of like the very first like super famous drag queens ever. So whenever I see Naomi Smalls, I always refer to her as Naomi Sims. So my apologies to Naomi Smalls. I'm a huge fan, okay? So we went last night, and I just have to tell you, okay? I love drag. I have never, and I've seen every episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. I've seen all the All-Stars. We root for all the people, you know. I have never seen a super fandom the way that I saw last night. It was unbelievable to me. I mean, people were like, who's your favorite? Who have you seen? I've seen this person, and I saw that person live. I mean, it was like unbelievable. I could not believe it, you guys, okay? And, Heidi and Closet and Plastique Tiara were sitting like 2 rows in front of us, and then Plastique Tiara took like a big bunch of roses up to Naomi Smalls at the end, and it was real sweet. So anyway, but that was kind of fun. We did that last night. So that was our last night we went to that show, and we're done with shows in Vegas for the week. We've seen all of our shows. The first night we saw Atomic Salon. I'm fixing my hair. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. Oh, you guys want to hear another story? Okay, so when we came into the room, my husband's in there. He's watching Grey's Anatomy. He's catching up on Grey's Anatomy. I'm almost done with Lotus Resort. That show is sad. I thought it was going to be a comedy. It's not a comedy at all. But anyway, I went in there and I said, he goes, what are you doing? And I said, I got to get in the safe for my lip gloss. And he goes, you keep your lip gloss in the safe? And I said, well, I keep my bag in there because it's got my wallet and things, see? And then, you know, my purse, my day purse. I got a nighttime and a daytime purse, okay? But anyway, I keep my nighttime purse in there because it's got my wallet and everything like that. And I said, well, it's my lip gloss. But I said, somebody might want to steal it. It's Celine, okay? They don't got that much Celine anymore. Manny MUA, and he sure in hell ain't bringing out that enchantment. If that enchantment was out and I had a tube of that enchantment from Lunar Beauty, you better bet your ASS I'd keep that up there in that safe, okay? Ain't nobody getting their hands on my enchantment. Not on my enchantment, okay? I hope that Manny MUA brings that stuff back, maybe just for a week, just for me. I buy every tube of that stuff. I love that enchantment. But Celine's good too. Doesn't it look so pretty with my tan? I was at the pool all day today. I got some good sun today. I know everybody's worried about my skin. God knows from the comments I got on my vlog last night, they were like, oh my Lord, Peter, you're so red. Wear sunscreen. Anyway, so let's get into this drama video today after all that. Oh, there was one other thing I want to tell you. So last night after the show, we were walking down to the Mirage, see? The show was at the Flamingo, okay? But afterwards, we were walking down to the Mirage. My leg's about to fall asleep. Because we wanted to go eat at this 24-hour restaurant that I had heard about called Pantry. It was closed. It wasn't 24 hours. We were bitter, okay? So anyway, bitter! I was hungry. And I did not learn my lesson. Again, I bought new shoes and I have blister on one foot, okay? So I was like this, limping down the street. We took an Uber back. I was like, oh no, honey, we're taking an Uber back. So anyway, we got back here and then we ate back here and all this kind of stuff. But I have to tell you, there were these girls walking down the street and they had like one of those like, you know, radio, and they were like those girls that you could take pictures of, you know, they were dressed up like, you know, flamingos and things like that. And so they were playing and they had that Black Crow song, you know, the song I sing in my intro. And I was like, I looked at them when I walked by and they were like, picture, and I go, hey little thing, let me light your candle because I'm mama who? I'm sure hard to handle now. And then we walked down another block and they played Stevie Nicks. And I looked at Alex and I go, oh my God, they're playing all my intro songs right here. They know I'm here. They know YouTube famous Peter Monn is in Las Vegas, Nevada. Listen, nobody knows who I am. Never in a million, especially not those influencer girls at the pool yesterday. There's a lot of influencers here, by the way, that I see people taking pictures by the pool and stuff like that. We don't take pictures by the pool. Okay, my husband did today, and he posted, well, I took the picture, but he don't never give me the photo credit. I took the picture of him, but we don't take pictures of all this, okay? Listen, one of my haters out there, they took a screenshot of my husband on the beach when we were in Miami. He was doing like an Insta story, and I'm like caught in like 0.2 seconds of it, and there it is, okay? All my douche and everything just hanging out to the world right here. Do you hear it? Okay, here I am enjoying myself on the beach in Miami, and I'm just sitting there like this, smoking a cigarette. And you know what? They put that picture all over the Instagram, oh my God, or the Twitters and everywhere. Then they blackmailed me. This one girl, she sent me this picture on Twitter. She goes, I have receipts of you on the beach in Miami, Florida, and I'm going to send them to all the drama channels. I was like, girl, send them all the drama channels. I don't care. That's who I am. You don't like it? I don't care. Move on. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to threaten me with a picture of me sitting on a beach in Miami smoking a cigarette, and I was like, you know what is so funny about this is 10 years ago, I would have been so entirely humiliated that I was like, oh my God, look at my body hanging out. I was just like, hey, that's who I am. Okay, that's called be too much. You know, be yourself, love yourself, enjoy your life. And hey, listen, if there's a picture of your fat ASS sitting out on the beach in Miami or by the pool in Las Vegas, Nevada, I guess that's how it goes. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't get too worried about all that stuff anymore. But anyway, did I tell the rest of my story? Oh yeah, let's get into today's drama. Okay, so first of all, at 9 minutes, I'm finally getting into my drama. Gabbie Hanna, who is texting me? All these people are texting me. Okay, so Gabbie Hanna is, she is so thirsty for attention, y'all. I feel so bad for Gabbie Hanna. I feel so bad for her because she's not getting the attention she needs. Oh my God. Gabbie Hanna, I don't know, she needs to hire some friends or something like that that could be real nice to her and just say, oh, she probably already has that, don't you think? You think Gabbie Hanna surrounds herself with people that just like tell her nice things about herself? Do you think that when you're friends with Gabbie Hanna, you get instructions on the compliment sandwich that she talks about? Do you know what I'm talking about, right? So back in the day, Gabbie Hanna said you shouldn't criticize somebody unless you say it to them in a compliment sandwich, okay? And like a compliment sandwich would go like this, okay? It would say something like, Gabbie, you have a real pretty house. Your series sucks and is real cruel to everybody. And I like your sunglasses. You know what I mean? That's a compliment sandwich, okay? And she is like, you have, oh my God, the fountains at the Bellagio are about to go off. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Here I am just sitting on the floor watching the fountains at the Bellagio. Don't worry about me, okay? Anyway, the smoke's rising right now. They're getting ready to go off. You know how that is, okay? But anyway, so there's that. So Gabbie Hanna, you know, she don't get the attention she needs, and she's real upset right now, okay? Because, you know, Trisha Paytas is getting all the attention, and she don't like that, okay? Gabbie Hanna don't like that Trisha Paytas is getting all the attention. She's not happy about that one bit, okay? I don't know that she'd want the attention that Trisha Paytas is getting, but whatever. Gabbie Hanna don't care, okay? Gabbie Hanna, you know, is under the belief that any attention is good attention. You know, like when people say, what's the saying back in the day that any publicity is good publicity? That's not true. Okay, I'm telling you right now that, oh my God, look at those fountains so much. I love them. Look at them. They're so pretty. Okay, but that is just not the case. That is not the case all day long, okay? I don't know who ever came up with that statement that they were like, good, any publicity is good. No, okay? There is so many things that you would not want publicity for. Can we just be for real? Okay? I mean, like, all the call-out stuff that Gabbie Hanna does, I don't think none of those people want that publicity. Thank you very much. But I do believe that Gabbie Hanna is under the belief that any publicity... Oh my God, they go so high. I love those fountains so much. I could just sit and watch them for days and days and days. Okay. So anyway, I am kind of like an old lady, you know, when it comes to Las Vegas. I like my slot machines, okay? I like my fountain pops, and I like to eat the buffet, of course, you know. And then I like to watch the fountains at the Bellagio. That's like what I love about it. And shows. Oh my God, I love shows so much. Okay, so anyway. What was I saying? Oh, Gabbie Hanna. She's so boring, isn't she? Okay, so anyway, here it is. Gabbie Hanna starts tweeting this weird stuff out a couple days ago. People are like, what's going on? Oh, what's going on is Trisha Paytas, and Gabbie Hanna don't know how to market the way that Trisha Paytas supposedly does, right? So, you know, her podcast with Keemstar, which I'm sure will be so exciting. I can't wait for that one. Okay, that'll be Confrontation Center. Not! So anyway. Oh my God. Woo, what a boring podcast that Trisha Paytas Keemstar thing was. Oh, Trisha Paytas confronted him on so many things. That's what they said on their newest video. You did? You did, girl? What did you confront him about? I didn't see anything. Oh, we're going to get to that in just a second. So anyway, Gabbie Hanna tweets out 3 days ago, eat, pray, delete your social media, okay? Which I was like, so is she saying she's going to delete her social media? We could only pray, right? We could only eat, pray, and hope that you delete your social media. But no, she's not going to delete her social media. I'm just joking. I know. All the Gabbie Hanna stans are like, why would you say that? I'm so mean. You can't listen. You can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything funny or throw any shade or whatever. Somebody said on my video yesterday, they said, now that you're saying that you're not for bullying and harassment, when was I ever for bullying and harassment, okay? As a person that has resulted in PTSD as a result of bullying, and let me tell you the kind of bullying that I had, okay? People coming up and telling me that if I was walking to my car that afternoon going from the door of school to my car, that I better look out for my life, okay? I think there's a little bit difference from that between me and reading the Lonely Doll book about Jeffree Star, but you do you, okay? Not to mention that Jeffree Star has made his own fair share of not very nice comments about people and not changed or not taken any ownership whatsoever. Do you not remember the things that he has said about people? People are so quick to defend Jeffree Star. It is unbelievable to me. It's like, what? Jeffree Star did this and said all... No, he didn't. What are you talking about? There's literally like 9 million receipts, and people are like, no, he didn't. And you would talk about... Well, see, you can't say anything anymore. I decided last night... Listen, I'm saying what I'm saying. I said what I said. From now on, I am saying what I have to say in my videos. And if you do not like it, I'm sorry. That's why I leave my comment sections open, okay? So we can have a difference of opinion, right? Even some of my friends and I, we don't even have the same opinions. We still get along. We're still friends. They're still my good Judies. We can all be good Judies and have different opinions about things. So I'm going to say what I have to say, okay? That stand-up that follows Jeffree Star, okay, that's a cult. It's scary. It is. You can't say anything negative about Jeffree Star. They're like, well, blah, 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 blah. I wish, like, Lord, they take a bullet for Jeffree Star. Seriously. Okay, so anyway, Gabbie Hanna says, eat, pray, delete your social media. Now, speaking of Jeffree Star, I used to believe that he was the most bothered person on the internet, but I don't believe that anymore. I believe that Gabbie Hanna is the most bothered person. Well, she may be close second in the page, okay? If this was a national, national YouTuber pageant of the world, okay, and I was judge number one, of course I would be, why wouldn't I, you know what I mean? And this was the page. I do think that Jeffree Star would take the title of most unbothered person on Twitter for blocking everybody, and I think Gabbie Hanna would get first runner-up, okay? And we know first runner-up is first loser, so there you go, Gabbie. Take the L. Okay, so anyway, there's that. And so Gabbie Hanna has started blocking people. I can't tell you the amount of people that have reached out to me in DMs and been like, Gabbie Hanna blocked me because I said this. And they'd said something like, you know, like, when's the next part of the series coming out, and they got blocked. Okay, it was real simple stuff. Gabbie Hanna can't handle any kind of thing because she's constantly on the internet like this. Can't handle it, okay? Can't handle any criticism. We already know about the compliment sandwich, okay? So, what Gabbie Hanna has done is, if you do not follow Gabbie Hanna, you cannot comment on Gabbie Hanna's Twitter, okay? I don't know why she hasn't blocked me yet, but she hasn't blocked me. So, when you go underneath here and you read the comments, you know, it says right here, people Gabbie Hanna follows or mentioned can reply. Oh, so I can't even respond to that. So, it's only the people that she approves of. Okay, what a sheltered world Gabbie Hanna lives in. But she wants to be a rock star and win a Grammy. Okay, she wants to live and be famous on that level. But she can't handle any kind of form of criticism whatsoever. Okay, Gabbie. So anyway, she's done all that. Then she comes out and she shows this tweet where it says, someone says, haha, you just did it out of the blue for me, potentially getting me effed. How amazing. And she responds and says, I'm sure if you had the opportunity to get me effed, you'd do the same. And people are like, are you talking about like literally getting somebody effed? Or are you talking about effing them over? Or like, what's this about? She doesn't say anything. Then the next one is from 19 hours ago. And she says, I'm one creepy MFer. Okay, nobody's disagreeing with you, girl. And then the pinned tweet, of course, is her video, Jessie Smiles actually needs to be stopped, okay? Because she wants everybody to see that at the top, okay? So she can do the most harm that she possibly can to Jessie Smiles. Let's have that as the pinned tweet. All right. So I don't know when the next part of the series is coming out, but Gabbie Hanna did have this to share with her Instagram followers. Here you go.
Fuck. I asked you guys to remind me to check my emails, and honestly, you guys have been really great with that shit. However, I stopped fucking checking my comments and tweets. So, it's the worst it's ever been. I've never seen it this... Dude. So, we're gonna go on this journey right fucking now. I'll keep you posted. We're at 9:01 is our starting point. I just felt like I should update you guys. I literally haven't done any other emails. I got super distracted. I ended up on a phone call that I didn't think I was going to be on for like a really long time that I made myself. Like, it wasn't unexpected. I just didn't expect myself to do it. Now I'm cooking chicken. I had a few snacks in between. I started editing a video that I ended up not liking. So I've done a lot, actually, since I said I was going to do my emails, but I still have like 850 emails because I only got through like one page. But another day, because I feel like at that point, any emails that are that old are probably trash emails anyway, because I responded too late, I think. Fuck. I don't want to do emails ever again.
Now, I'm not really sure what the point of this whole Instagram story was, to let everybody know how many emails she's getting. Okay, girl, who cares, okay? That you sign up to Lululemon newsletter and that you got 901 emails that you don't respond. To me, what that shows is that, I don't know, either like people are flooding you with emails wanting to tell you things, I don't know, or that you're lazy. I don't know what you're trying to prove it to us, okay? But I hope your chicken and your snacks were good. And girl, your life seems real interesting to me, okay? I'm just saying, I hope that you're having fun sitting there eating your snacks talking about how you don't reply to nobody's emails. But thanks for giving us the update anyway. It's boring. Who'd care about all that? Okay, now let's talk about Trisha Paytas and how Trisha Paytas can't stop, okay? So, I just did this video yesterday and I was talking about Trisha Paytas' response to Ethan Klein and all the things that Ethan Klein said in his video, okay, which we're going to talk about that in just a second. So now let's do a little history lesson again. Okay, so Trisha Paytas, Keemstar, okay, who is Ethan Klein's archenemy. We already know that, okay? They've had years and years of history, okay? Okay, so there's Keemstar from Drama Alert, right? Then Trisha Paytas, who used to be Ethan Klein's partner on Frenemies. Are you keeping up with me? Y'all know this. You already know all this anyway, okay? So then, now they're not on Frenemies anymore, okay? Because they had this huge falling out. And then, Keemstar started dating this 20-year-old, okay, young lady. And Trisha Paytas had tons to say about it, okay? Inserted themselves right in the middle of that and had all these tweets to say. Trisha Paytas and Keemstar have had a history of going at each other for years, saying really, really, like, negative, toxic things towards each other, okay? So then Keemstar said to Trisha, why don't you come on my podcast and we'll talk it out. We'll have all this, right? And so then Ethan Klein got a strike on his channel indirectly from Keemstar making a video on Twitter and tagging Susan, the CEO of YouTube, and YouTube in it. He's already owned this, said that this is true, okay? So therefore, then Ethan Klein got a strike and his channel was suspended for a week, okay? So there was that. Within 2 hours of that, Trisha Paytas started following Keemstar and said, sure, I'd love to go on and have an open conversation with you, okay, about this. Not about Ethan Klein, okay, but about this conversation about him dating this young lady and all the things that Trisha Paytas had to say. Trisha Paytas, they don't know nothing about the compliment sandwich. I think we know that by now. They come out and just say what they have to say, okay? Speaking of which, Peter Monn, I stated this a year and a half ago, and I'm going to remind everybody, okay? I'm going to have my say on videos. I'm going to say my opinion, okay? And I know that not everybody shares the same opinion. That's okay. Me and did I already say this in part of this video? I probably did. But me and some of my best Judies, okay? We don't even share the opinion on some things, right? And that's okay. We can be good Judies, and we don't always have to share the same opinion. That's why I love to read the comments and see what you guys have to say. And many times I read your comments and I'm like, wow, like, you know, I didn't see it this way, or maybe I am being a little biased, or maybe I need to be a little bit more fair, open my mind to things. And you guys really educate me about things, and I want to say thank you for that, okay? But I don't have my opinion over here, okay? I asked yesterday the difference between gossip, tea, commentary, receipts, and whatever, I don't know, whatever else channel, drama channels, okay, what the difference is. I'm gonna tell you what I am over here now. I'm an opinion channel, okay? So I'm gonna bring up something that's happened on the YouTubes, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion, and y'all can share your opinion in the comment sections, and that's the way that we'll have a conversation, see, okay? So from now on, when people ask you what kind of channel Peter is, I was a candle review company, but now I'm an opinion channel. That's what I am, okay? This is just my opinion, okay? And if you don't like my opinion, that's okay, okay? And you can have your opinion too. I don't take your opinion real personally. I don't get hurt by it, and neither should you. It's just my opinion. And my opinion can change. You know, my good Judy Tanya, she says that all the time. She's like, I'm a human being. My opinion can change in 5 to 10 seconds if I want it to, and she's absolutely 100% right, okay? So we can all of us change our opinions whenever we want, okay? So now, let's, what was I saying? Okay, so let's talk about, the situation that happened with the Trisha Paytas thing. Okay, so now Trisha Paytas, she went on the podcast, or they went on the podcast and didn't confront anything, okay? Didn't confront the conversation. There was a part where Keemstar's like, well, there's the girl that I'm dating right there. And Trisha's like, oh, hi. You know, Trisha Paytas is the queen of saying, I'm going to be really confrontational, and I'm going to be really hard, I'm going to say all these things, and then, like, in the moment, doesn't do any of that, okay? And we already know that, right? Like, we'd rather take it to Twitter and have, like, some huge Twitter argument on all this kind of stuff than really ever actually having a real honest conversation. No, it's like, none of these people can handle that. It's like, even Keemstar, Keemstar coming out and acting like, you know, he's, like, such a, like, a badass and all this kind of stuff, he doesn't even get confrontational on these podcasts. I've listened to a couple of the podcasts now, and I'm kind of like, this is the interview that you've been bragging about for weeks on end? Like, seriously? Like, I don't have a problem asking people questions. If I had people in Trisha Paytas in front of me, trust, there's a lot of questions, you know, that I would ask today. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, Trisha Paytas believes that in this 38-minute podcast, of which Keemstar and FaZe Banks dragged Ethan Klein through the mud, and Trisha Paytas sat there and allowed it, okay? Whether they're friends today or not, I would never allow somebody to talk about an old friend of mine that way. And when people ask me about a friend of mine that I'm not friends with anymore, I typically say to them, you know what, we're really not friends with anymore, but like I wish them all the best and I hope that they're having a great life. I would never sit there for 2 seconds and entertain somebody talking about an old friend of mine, because maybe they don't mean anything to me today. Maybe I'm not emotionally attached to that person today, but at some point in my life, they meant a lot to me, and I would never sit there, and I don't care if Trisha Paytas comes out and says, I don't respect Ethan Klein and blah, 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 whatever, okay? I don't think there's a lot of people that respect Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas would have a fit if somebody sat there and allowed that conversation to occur for 38 minutes about them, period, end of story, okay? And you sat there and allowed that conversation to occur about Ethan Klein. You are so complicit in that whole situation. Everything that FaZe Banks and Keemstar said about Ethan Klein, you are part of that. I do not care if you sit there and say, well, I talked nice about Ethan, or I defended Ethan, or I said that I like Ethan more than Keemstar, or I said that I love Ethan still. But then you also came out later and said you don't respect Ethan Klein. And you showed that you don't respect Ethan Klein because you allowed those two to walk all over Ethan Klein. And I'm sorry, but we're all grown adults, and that's not what you do, okay? You know? I'm not down with all of that. Especially when Ethan Klein sat there and said, well, I want to bully and harass somebody too. What is this, 7th grade? Get over yourself. Like, seriously? I don't know. So, that's how it all started, okay? Was that Trisha Paytas supposedly was going to go on this podcast to have this conversation, this deep conversation, open conversation about this gal that Keemstar was dating. Who'd care, first of all? Seriously? You really care that deeply about this, that you want to go on the podcast? I mean, I don't know about Keemstar's views or whether they're out in the past. I know that when like a video of his doesn't do real well, hell, I've never had a video that's done as well as Keemstar's, but as his videos don't do well in the first hour or two, he's like tweeting out to YouTube, is my video shadow banned? Like, why is nobody watching my video? I used to get this amount of views on my videos and all this kind of stuff. It's like, I don't know. Why y'all think that you deserve more than anybody else? Hell, there's me and a lot of other people out there that are busting our butts, working a lot, making a lot of videos and stuff for the passion and the love of it, you know? Sure, the money's nice too, but just because you got a YouTube person that you talk to and your video isn't getting the views you want to get it in the first hour, you're crying to YouTube about it. Cry me a river. Seriously? All these people out there, they just think that they're so self-important. It's just unbelievable to me. Okay, so anyway, so then Trisha Paytas, after knowing that this whole thing that started it was Keemstar dating this young lady, okay, and that Trisha Paytas inserted themselves in the middle of that conversation, even though they had no part in being in that conversation to begin with, okay, and then just went on this podcast for that reason, but didn't discuss it on the podcast and didn't confront anything. Instead, they confronted Keemstar about how he talked about women, but he really did, but they didn't. There was no conversation about that. Keemstar didn't talk about that at all, really, except for that, yeah, like, I don't know why I do that. And FaZe is like, yeah, you really shouldn't. And then Trisha was like, yeah, like, why do you do that? That was it. That was the only conversation that occurred, okay? And there was no confrontation in this podcast, right? So you went on the podcast to have an open conversation. Then Keemstar comes out today and says that he and this young lady are no longer dating, okay, that they have broken up. Was the relationship even real at this point? Who knows? Probably not, okay? It's all probably just fake for the internet. Who'd care, okay? Is this where Keemstar wants drama channels to reach out to him to get a statement? Do I need to reach out to Keemstar and ask him if he was really for real dating this young lady? I don't care. Who'd care? It's boring. It's boring news if it is, okay? If you have to fake a relationship like that, what? Okay, so anyway, so then Keemstar, he tweets out today about how these people are in his DMs, all these ladies are in his DMs, wanting to like get with him and all this kind of stuff. This is on such a ridiculous Jeffree Star level, talking about basketball players and football players and all these people in his DMs, asking them to suck the D. Who'd care? That's disgusting anyway to share. I mean, you're all grown adults in your 30s. Why are you sharing stuff like that? That's 16-year-old mentality. Oh, all these people are jumping in my DMs like, have me suck their D. Anybody can suck a D, okay? Who'd care? There's, you know, anyway. So now Keemstar, who has criticized people for this in the past, has now taken to his DMs, apparently being his dating area, I guess. I don't know. He's making a joke of it nonetheless, okay, whether it's a joke or not. So he posts this one, and he says, I asked for ID, she hit me with, and then it says, how you gonna reject a blood donor, okay? And it shows like an ID or something like that. Trisha Paytas retweets it and says, if you have to ask for ID, she too young for you, bro. Okay, this was 3 hours ago. And And it goes on and on and on, and people are saying just all this kind of stuff underneath her. It's like, but why bring it up again? You went on the podcast to have, you know, this open conversation, which never occurred on the podcast. It was basically just like, what it was Keemstar wanted to hurt Ethan, and Trisha wanted to hurt Ethan, and so that was the purpose of the podcast. Period. End of story. Okay. Furthermore, it was just so that Ethan or Keemstar could brag about getting Trisha Paytas on the podcast. The podcast was boring. It was stupid. Okay, we already know that. There's that. Now, I want to say something about yesterday's video. I actually got a lot of really supportive comments, especially about the end of my video where I talked about forgiveness and things like that. And I really, really appreciate that, okay? But I got like 1 or 2 comments from people that are like, you always are so hard on Ethan, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know what video that you watched of mine yesterday, but I did not give Trisha Paytas a pass. I watched the video back twice, okay? I did not give Trisha Paytas a pass. I am open to hearing those comments, but there's no truth to that. And I sat there and I watched it back because I got some of these comments, and a couple people are like, you're so hard on Ethan, and Ethan should be able to defend himself a million times. I want to explain something to you, okay? There is probably only one YouTuber in the last year that I have started off not really enjoying or finding funny, and that is Ethan Klein, to becoming a fan in the last year. I really enjoy Ethan Klein's commentary. I really enjoy the H3 podcast. I even said that in my Q&A that I did the other day. I talked about that and a part of that and talked about Teddy Fresh and all that kind of stuff, okay? People pick and choose what they want to hear in videos, right? I do not watch Trisha Paytas' video. I am not supportive of Trisha Paytas, okay? I think that Trisha Paytas does a lot of really, really hurtful things. I don't really care what the reason behind it is or the excuse, okay? It's time to take ownership over the fact that your behaviors are hurtful to other people and to nip it in the butt and stop hurting other people. Period. End of story, okay? If you don't want to do it anymore, then stop doing it, okay? It's just like, it's either trolling or you need to like do some work on not doing that. And if that means you just don't put out videos or stay off social media, I mean, Trisha Paytas said that they would stay off social media for weeks, or they were trying to stay off social media for weeks. When did that occur? Because I didn't see that. I saw a consistency on social media. I didn't see these YouTubers that say I'm taking a break from social media and then 3 days later they're posting. They literally live on social media and cannot stay off of it. Okay, end of story. But I don't have any interactions with Trisha Paytas. I don't talk to Trisha Paytas. I haven't talked to Trisha Paytas in a very, very long time. So there's that, okay? But I do want to say this about the Ethan Klein thing yesterday, because I think maybe people misunderstood what I was saying. I got a couple comments and people said, Ethan Klein should be able to defend himself to Trisha Paytas as many times as he wants, even based on your statement, Peter, that there were 51 responses that Trisha Paytas made to Ethan Klein's one tweet, okay, which I had talked about in previous video. I absolutely agree with that statement. If Ethan Klein wants to make 900 videos, 900 tweets, 900 TikToks a day for the rest of his life defending himself to Trisha Paytas, he has every right to do that. But I want to share how I feel as a human being, okay? Not just as somebody covering a drama channel. This is my opinion, okay? This is how I choose to live my life today. And this is what I want for other people too. And if you watch my Peterisms channel or my vlog channel, you know this is not BS. I talk about these things on a pretty regular basis, okay? The thing I'm going to talk about today, I talk about on a really regular basis on my Peterisms channel. We all have the need and the desire to tell on somebody, okay? If you knew what that person did to me, if you read that text, if you heard what they said to me, okay, then you would see things in a different way. You would realize what a vile human being that person was. You would realize how horrible they are and what they had done for me. And I would be the one that was pitied. And I would be the one that you felt sorry for, right? We all have a desire to do that, whether you're a YouTuber, a celebrity, or just a regular person out there, okay? We all have the desire and the need to tell on somebody at some point, right? But one of the greatest lessons I have learned in my life is that every time that I am pointing my finger at somebody else, yes, there's always 3 fingers pointing back like that old adage, but that is time and energy that I am spending on telling on somebody else that I could be working on myself, okay? And life is short, and don't throw into my face, well, then you're a drama channel, then you should stop talking about other people. Okay, that's my job. That's what I do over here. I'm a drama channel, okay? So if you don't know that by now, it's like I got 5 other channels where I work on myself, okay? This is my channel to come over here and do commentary and talk and gossip about people on YouTube, because I enjoy that. That's what I like to do, and I have fun doing it, right? There's always that one person that's like, well, if you're so pristine, then you shouldn't be talking about other people. Okay, this is a gossip channel, okay? Let's settle down a little bit. It's just not that deep, okay? But like, I have learned in my life that when it comes to my interactions with other people, okay, there has to come a point where I stop needing to tell on that person, and I own my part, and I own my side of the street, and I say, you know what? I have to detach with love and stop allowing this toxicity and this chaos to affect my personal life. And if that means that I have no interactions with those people anymore, and that I don't talk about them anymore, and that I unfollow them from social media, and that I'm just done with them, okay? And if anybody asks me, I say, I wish them all the best. I'm over here in my lane doing my thing, right? Then that is what I have to do so that I can have peace and harmony and serenity in my life. When I said yesterday that I really, really hope that Ethan Klein shuts his mouth and doesn't continue, it's for that reason. For Ethan Klein to be able to have peace and serenity and harmony in his life, and for his wife Ela to have that, and for his mother, and for everybody, okay? Because I do believe that Trisha Paytas will continue to bring this up as many times as it benefits Trisha Paytas. I really, really do believe that, okay? And yes, I do believe that Ethan Klein has a right to defend himself at any expense. I believe that any human being deserves to defend themselves at any expense. Even Trisha Paytas, whether you like to hear that or not, that's my opinion, okay? Any human being has a right to defend themselves at any expense, okay? But what is that expense? Is your own personal serenity and harmony and peace of mind worth that? If I were Ethan Klein, other than sitting down in a counselor's office in a monitored environment to talk to Trisha Paytas with a signed contract that said nothing in this room leaves this room, okay? I would not mention Trisha Paytas or have any interactions with Trisha Paytas again because it's so volatile to my well-being and my family's well-being. And that was what I was saying yesterday. Absolutely, Ethan Klein has every right to defend himself. But is it in Ethan Klein's best interest? And if you really love Ethan Klein, don't you want for him to have peace and serenity and harmony in his life? Or would you rather have him be just caught up in all of this drama and craziness and chaos and toxicity, you know? I think if you really cared about him, you would want that. And if you really cared about Trisha, you would want that for Trisha too. You would want Trisha Paytas to just stop with all the crap, right? The problem is, okay, is that Trisha Paytas has built a career on trolling. So if Trisha Paytas stops trolling, Trisha Paytas has no career. It's the same thing as me. I'm a drama channel. I know that. If tomorrow I stopped talking about drama and this became a dog channel, okay, or a slot channel, people wouldn't follow that followed for the drama, okay? I know that, you know, like that. It doesn't take brain science to figure that out. But there's a way to be able to do that. There's a way to be able to talk about all this kind of stuff and not to have to allow the chaos and the toxicity into your life, okay? So I just wanted to say that because I think people misunderstood that yesterday. They're like, you're so hard on Ethan Klein. No, I want the best for Ethan Klein. I want the best for all of these people. I know that is so surprising that somebody out there might want human beings to really enjoy their life, but I don't hate any of these people. I don't hate Shane Dawson. I don't hate Jeffree Star. I don't hate Toddy Westbrook. I don't hate James Charles. I don't hate any of these people, okay? Ethan Klein, Keemstar, whatever, okay? Do I think that some of these people have made horrible choices in their lives and have a lot of work to do because they haven't grown up and they lacking emotional development? Absolutely, 100%. As do I in areas and need to work on that, right? And that's what I do is I report on that over here and I talk about that and I give you my opinion, you know? But do I want the best for them? Absolutely, all right? But they have to do the work, right? Like, they have to do the work. Just like I have to do the work on myself, just like you have to do the work on yourself, which is why, okay? When we are wanting to tell on something, there's been many moments when I've wanted to tell on somebody, and it's just like, you know what? And I've talked to my sponsor, and my sponsor's like, is it worth your, like, I mean, emotional serenity, or do you want an emotional roller coaster? And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to tell the, you know, I don't need to tell on this one. Like, I can let this one go. And then that also means that when you do stand up and defend yourself, people are more apt to listen because you're not defending yourself to everything. Look at Gabbie Hanna. Gabbie Hanna is pointing at the entire world, blaming the entire world for everything, and it's just become muted at this point. Nobody cares, right? But if Gabbie Hanna picked one or two things that were really big issues for her, people would listen. People would probably take her more seriously, you know? So anyway, that's all I have to say about all of that. I'm gonna go shopping now. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.